Huang Zhi Xiang is my favorite tea, and in this video I will drink it with Caroline and I will tell you why. Hi guys, this is Gabriele from nannuoshan, where we share the pleasure of drinking and discovering genuine farm tea. And today I am again with Caroline.
Hi!
And today, together, we are going to drink Huang Zhi Xiang. And I will tell you more about this tea. Actually, I'm here at Caroline's place. We don't have a lot of nannuoshan teas because all my teas are back at home. And I just discovered that Caroline, some years ago, right, received a small portion of Huang Zhi Xiang. So already from the size of the oversize of the tea bag, you can guess that actually I like the tea because I give this as a gift to Caroline, and Caroline liked the tea as well. So I thought I haven't done any video yet about this tea, and I wanted to do a video now. So Caroline, I have a question for you. If you were to go on a desert island, and you know you're going to stay there and you will never come back to the society, and you can take with you only one tea, which tea do you take with you?
Oh.
I know I didn't anticipate this question to Caroline. So just out of your mind, which is the first tea that pops out of your mind? Tell me one.
I'm not sure. It would probably be a rock tea or something.
A rock tea.
Yeah.
That's enough. Okay. Why?
I like to drink it, yeah. And there's really extremely good ones, very expensive ones.
So you would take a big charge of an expensive one and just take it with you on the island. Well, the same question was asked to me some weeks ago, and my answer was Huang Zhi Xiang. And when they asked me why, my answer was, well, I always say that Dancong Oolong and Taiwan Oolong are my favorite tea, but if there is one tea that I never have enough of drinking, is Huang Zhi Xiang. And it's also a tea that really satisfies me a lot. And so I thought, if I have to take one tea with you, I don't want something that is like very, very high pitch, super, super flowery, and it's kind of, how you say in English when you have too much of something?
Overpowering?
Like overpowering or übel. Like
making you sick.
Yeah, making me sick, right? It must be something that I really enjoy all the time drinking, but nonetheless have to be very special. And so this is the tea that I actually would like to take along with me. By the way, I forgot telling you this time at the very beginning, but if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe, and more videos like this will come your way. And also, if you enjoy watching, give us also a thumbs up. That's very important for us. But now let's go back to Huang Zhi Xiang. And Caroline, I wanted to share with you some pictures of some of my tea trips in Fenghuang, and you will see also those pictures, and I will tell you a little bit the story behind that. So Caroline, you have been with me actually to how does it work?
Just to Chaozhou city I've been.
How does it work? Yeah, here. Hold on. Here we go. So yes, it's near Chaozhou city, and we have been together in Chaozhou, but at that time we were only there for one day and we didn't made it to the mountains. So now you have to know, have you ever seen this picture?
No.
No. So this is Shantou University, okay? And I believe this is the university also where Spencer studied.
Yeah.
A good friend of us that came with me on many trips to China and helped me with translation. Hi Spencer. And you see, this is actually what I saw when I arrived in Shantou for the first time 6 years ago. This is Shantou University, and I was staying in this university. This is the place where I was living. And I was staying with Wei. Mm-hmm. So actually not exactly with him, with one of his professor, but Wei that you see in this picture is in the meanwhile he's no more a student. I think last time that I spoke to him, he's now studying, he's working in Shenzhen. But he was like this kind of guy, very smart, very attentive, very good English actually as well. And so we had this evening, we had like a conversation about Chaozhou tea, about Fenghuang Dancong and so on. And as a matter of fact, Wei made a study. He has to make a study at his university about Fenghuang Dancong. So what he did is he had to search a renowned farmer and making an interview with this farmer. So he went up to Wudong and searching among the farmer, and through the contact of one professor that is very fond of Dancong, got the contact of the farmer actually that produced the Huang Zhi Xiang. The next day we couldn't go together because he had to go to classes, so I went actually up to the mountain with the professor. Here the professor is driving, and as you see, as we are approaching actually, we took a bus then, went from Fenghuang. There is a bus that goes up to Wudong mountain, and we drove all the way up. And here you see that we are arriving in the peak of the mountain, and it's very, very foggy. You see some leaves that are there withering, and this tells you also how much the climate can change with the altitude, right? So this picture is another year. Here I'm combining different journeys, and here you see Spencer actually, and the farmer that produces this tea. This farmer is walking us up the mountain. And here you see a lot of tea bushes left and right, but you see also a lot of constructions, right? Because this is the village where her family, father and grandfather, were living. Then this village was destroyed basically, and trees were planted, and they moved farther down the mountain. So we are walking all the way up, and you see now this is the tree. Actually, it is a Huang Zhi Xiang tree that you see down here, and is very close to the peak of the mountain, which is about 100 meters higher. You see in this picture also the peak of the mountain, and this is the tree. So you see that this tree, first of all, is very large. I would say it's probably 10 meters high, and half of the tree is dying. I don't know if it is a sickness, but basically half of the tree is sick, so they harvest only from the left side on the picture. And we don't have the tea of this tree because that's incredibly expensive. The farmer says it's about 500 years old, and since it's one of the largest trees that I have seen on Wudong mountain, I pretty much tend to believe that the oldest one are 600 to 700 years old, and she makes a lot of money out of this tree, despite harvesting only less than 20 kilo every year. And what they have done, they have taken some small, and I will warm up the water so that we can start. They have taken some small cuttings from the mother tree, and they have planted those all around the trees. You see some of here are really very close to the tree. Those that you see here are very young, but she took also some years before that are a little bit more far away from the mother tree, and these are the leaves that have been used for producing this Huang Zhi Xiang. So it is a first generation from the mother tree. And look at the roots of the tree, it's pretty large. And here you see even better the small trees that are just underneath the mother tree. Alright, so that's pretty much about my adventure in Fenghuang. Beautiful place. We should actually consider it including in the tea tour as well. And you see that here something is missing. We are not steeping with the picture actually, because we are steeping today in Chaozhou style. And if you want to know more about that, I will put the link on the video of a video that I have made only about Chaozhou style brewing. Chaozhou is the birthplace of Gongfu-cha. So Gongfu-cha was invented in this place, and most probably I would say at the very beginning was like that. No pitcher, very small guy one. Can you take out some leaves?
Yep.
Maybe we weight them, so just the guy one is our baby guy one, is really, really tiny. And so let me give you some information about the tea, this particular batch. The origin, it is from Fenghuang, that is, or actually from Wudong, near Fenghuang in Chaozhou, Guangdong province of China. And we say this called Huang Zhi Xiang. What does Huang Zhi Xiang means? You know?
It means gardenia flower smell or like,
Right,
yeah,
Gardenia flower fragrance.
fragrance. Yeah.
I will do it a bit intense, is okay?
Yeah.
Might be a bit bitter, but 5 grams. So I took 5 grams of leaves in a guy one where probably we will put the 60 milliliters. That's the way they do it there. Pretty cool, I think. All right, so the meaning I told you, the cultivar is the same name, is Huang Zhi Xiang, which belongs to the Shui Xian family of cultivars. And the harvest, it is from spring 2015, okay? If you search a little bit on the website, you might be able also to find a very short video, like 1 or 2 minutes, that I made there when a farmer was actually brewing some Dancong. So this is just a first wash. What do you think?
Yeah, it smells nice. Yeah. Quite powerful. Yeah.
I love this. It's like, for me, Huang Zhi Xiang, if I have to use one word, addictive. Like, yes, it has
You're
this...
addicted to Dancong, to all types of Dancong.
I'm addicted to
As soon as he
Dancong.
smells the teas, then he's like,
But you also know that sometimes I'm disappointed by some Dancong, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, anyway. I get my mouth start watering. I love this thing. I mean, it's just really my favorite, so must be. So very short steeping, we do like that, very short. You see that I move the guy 1/4 and back so that I distribute it to both of us, more or less the same taste. I really want to take every drop out. In China, sometimes they laugh about that. They say that I shouldn't force it out, so you should stay there and wait, right? But you know. Let's see how it tastes. It's hot. I will wait a little
very
bit.
hot.
Yeah, because it's 100 degrees water, and you know this guy one is so tiny. We pour it out, so it doesn't even have the time to cool down. So I will wait. I will give the word to you first.
Of course, it's very sweet at first and very floral from my perspective here. And I think the name is really correct. It's like, yeah, you can imagine a yellow flower and when drinking this tea.
And there are people that says that also Huang Zhi Xiang tastes like orange blossoms. You find an article about that in our blog written by Jens, where he compare our Huang Zhi Xiang with that of another producer. He doesn't say the name of the other producer, so he can be really straight about that. And there are aspects that he like better of this one, aspects that he like better of the other one. And what he points out is, together with Ralph, one of his tea friends, is this orange blossom fragrance that is characteristic of Huang Zhi Xiang. That I remember a little bit from my childhood, because I'm originally from Sicily, and when I was a child, we were traveling to Sicily, and the oranges trees were blossoming, how you say? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You had this very sweet florality.
And it's actually not bitter, because
it's not bitter.
You steeped it very, very quickly, so yeah.
Might come out though, because you know it's just the start. I want to show you a little bit the leaves. At least I give it a try. I have to hide myself behind the guy one, otherwise it would focus. And also,
should I?
Yeah, just go away, Caroline. I don't know if you can see the leaves. It's quite packed. And you know, it's 5 years old, so it's not super fresh, but it tastes fresh. I don't know how to say that.
But it doesn't matter as much, no, for Dancong.
No, I mean 5 years for Dancong is. All right, let's continue. I still do. The leaves are very rolled, so I just want to keep it really short, and we can always increase later. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. I keep the water hot. You could steep it also 90 degrees, would be fine. I just that we are usually not afraid of bitterness, and we like sometimes, especially from this tea, to take out everything, also the bitterness, because together with bitterness you get that crispy minerality to it that makes the tea more complex and more full. How is it now?
But the tea still isn't bitter, I find. It's still totally fine.
No.
So even with hot temperatures, it's fine. It's a question of how long you leave the water in, probably for this one.
We can try a bit longer if you want. There are two different types of Dancong. You know about them?
So the
Two main,
classic style and the bouquet style.
See, she has watched the videos. She has studied the lesson.
No, because we did this blind tasting, right? Where you had to try this,
Yeah,
and you failed.
but I feel short. Let's say, yeah.
Because
That's
of
right.
a grapefruit blossom dancong, or what was
Ginger.
it? A ginger blossom dancong.
Was Jianghua Xiang is 3 high tone. Jianghua Xiang, yeah. Also very good, even sweeter that one. This has a bit more fruity sweetness, I would say. It's a little bit, you know what I mean? It's not all floral. It has also some fruity note. I would think about, maybe because of the color, because of the name. Huang, we say, means yellow. Actually, Huang Zhi Xiang means yellow gardenia fragrance. Yellow gardenia fragrance. And maybe also because of that, because there's the word yellow, but I really think about orange yellow fruits like apricots, like maybe papaya, that is not super sweet but brings you a little bit of texture. But you know, it's very personal at the very end, which type of fruity sweetness do you taste in a tea. I mean, it depends on the association you do. Just a few seconds longer.
A bit longer, yeah.
Just a tiny bit. So this is a bouquet style as well, but it is already 5 years old, so it is a little bit darker, but still on the floral side, which is very classical for Huang Zhi Xiang. Huang Zhi Xiang is most of the time processed with a little bit lower roasting. I know the professor that brought me up the mountain there the first year in 2014, he was going there in spring. It was spring, so I bought the tea from the previous year, but he was there for buying matcha. So the fresh matcha that was only it was roasted only once in spring, and he would take it home with him, and he would roast it the second and the third time over summer at home.
Yeah.
And this is something that basically you can do almost only if you are there, because matcha degrades relatively quickly. Once I did the mistake. I love the taste of matcha from Dancong. I bought such a bag. I took it home, and after a few months, wasn't good. I didn't throw it away, and it stayed in my cupboard until I left the apartment after 5 years. 5 years later, and then I just throw it away because it has no more taste. So sometimes you want to preserve a tea, but you better drink, because the tea doesn't wait for you.
So now you get a bit of more of the bitterness, but it's still nice, and
I
it's
like
the
it
bitterness
better.
we associate with Dancong, so it feels just stronger, and actually it's nice. So it's not something that is disturbing.
I like it better now.
Yeah.
Like before, it's also, I mean, it depends, but is what I like is these sour bitter notes in Dancong that is so typical that you can always recognize Dancong just because of that. What is interesting also is that actually in the Wudong area, when you walk around there, you see a lot of analogies of the nature around with Yancha, with Xian, where rock teas are made. I mean, you don't have these narrow valleys and so, but you have the same types of dark rocks, dark reddish rocks. And the two are also, I mean, Shui Xian, we say almost all Dancong are from the Shui Xian family, with Shui Xian nowadays you do also rock teas, but the Shui Xian, even if it is the Laozong, the old variety Shui Xian, still tastes very different. So the way they process the tea in Fenghuang, and maybe a little bit also the terroir, makes it quite different. And sometimes when you get to the point where a tea is almost over and you really like that tea and you know you won't get that batch anymore. I don't know if you have that sensation, but although I have tons of tea, if I really like a tea, you have the last 10 grams and you can't say, okay, today I steep only 2 grams just because I want to keep it a bit longer. Yeah,
I tend not to like to finish like batches of tea that I have, so that I still have it somewhere. And then the stuff accumulates because you buy more and more. But it's just to have the chance to taste
this huge bag with a tiny bit at the end. That that's true. And just a few days ago, we discovered actually a sample that you had it here.
Which
Baye. You remember? Yeah, you had it here, and probably Karin has a lot of tea. She even didn't know she has that tea. I don't know, but there were just a very little left. For one Chaozhou Gongfu session, and it is Baye is also a Dancong that is manufactured actually by the same farmer, and all broken leaves were left. Actually, we brewed it anyway very strong, and it had such a very strong aftertaste that even when you wait like 5 to 10 minutes between session, you had that aftertaste in the mouth. And it was the last one. So, and when
you finished it.
Yeah, it's finished. Well, we have but it's just powder,
but
basically.
The box,
I kept it because there is a little bit of powder.
I didn't know it was.
And I want to put.
There still was a lot. Yeah.
I want to put that powder in these, resealable tea bags and just steep the powder because it is so unique. I mean, it's one of the strongest aftertaste, even stronger than this. Yeah. That I had, and we had a lot of Dancong in the last few days. And that one persists so much, even the day after. When I wake up in the morning, actually I was sleeping on the sofa because Karen didn't want to be disturbed because she says I turn all the time around in the bed. So
like a spring roll.
Like a spring roll. So at 4 a.m. I got up and I moved on the sofa, and then when I got up on the sofa at 6 a.m. I had that taste in my mouth. And that happens sometimes, maybe happen also to you, that you wake up and have in your mouth the taste of the tea you drank the evening before, although you brush your teeth at the evening. So it's, What about Huang Zhi Xiang?
It's good. It's still powerful, so you could steep it for quite a long time.
It's the fourth?
Probably, yeah, at least, yeah.
Yeah, it's very... that's also a point, right? I mean, Huang Zhi Xiang is not super cheap, actually. I mean, we sell it, I think, for 30 euros for 50 grams. And it's already, trust me, a very good price. And still, with respect to a green tea that might cost the half of the price, you get more tea out of this one here.
Of course, you need quite a lot of leaves, and we steep like in a really small guy one.
5
so
grams,
also helps.
that's a point. That's a point, yeah. You see how tiny. I love this guy one, by the way. It's the combination of the whole thing, but this is made for every hand. I mean, I don't have super small hands, but I don't know. It's so cute. So this is the 5th steep. Let's push it. I mean, it's not the tea that is the last batch. We still have, we don't want to keep you with us until the 10th or 15th steep. So this is the 5th one. We're going to pushing it a little bit and see what comes out of this. And the Baye was one tea that we had online long time ago. Was one of the very first tea. I called them the 2 digits tea because since we give a code to every tea, this I think is T 142, if I'm right, which means that is the 142nd tea that I bought from nannuoshan. And that one is a 2 digit and is T02 something. So it was among the first 20 teas that in the first ever tea sourcing journey for nannuoshan I've sourced it. Now it's over. Maybe next year I have to go back to Fenghuang. Would be a point. I mean, guys, which tea do you miss in the nannuoshan, on the nannuoshan website? I'm sure you know that there are something that sometimes you go nannuoshan, let's see if nannuoshan has this tea. You search and there is not. So which are those teas? Let me know. I mean, I can actually go wherever you want to source teas, right? And if you give me some ideas, also include Dancong, please. It's really a cool place there. You have the Chaozhou city next to it, so it's not too far, but you have to drive 1 hour, so it's very much among the mountain. You can Google it, you can see a little bit the region. Too much? Too long?
Still okay. I mean, yeah, of course it's quite strong, but
yeah.
I mean, we're used to it, so yeah.
It has this oily now. It has this oily thickness in my mouth.
But it's still a bit astringent as well. So
yeah.
But not too much. So it's not
astringent oil. All right, that was Huang Zhi Xiang. Yeah, I hope you enjoy watching this video. If you have at home, try it again. Try it in Gongfucha style. If you have a baby guy one, 5 grams, 100 degrees, very short steeping. And when you have the feel that you want to push a little bit more, just let it go. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and go ahead subscribing our channel if you haven't done it yet. And we will see you in the next tea tasting video. Bye guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.